Right, we're back, and I've got a flat this evening on the night that I was able to cross over into the 6,000 miles on the Stroker Big Bore. And I've got a pretty nasty piece of metal, and I'm going to patch this tire, but I'm also going to just put a new tube in here because I've got one from my stash, and I thought I'd show removing the tire. So I was able to kind of limp it home from my mom's house. That's where I had discovered I had a flat, and I probably picked it up on the dirt road out there by her. But I'm gonna find out what the heck this is, and I'm gonna evaluate this tire. I may have to replace it, but I'm gonna get my use out of it in the meantime. Okay, I like using my impact tool to remove the nuts on this. I've already removed my chain guard over here. Oh, I might need no, I won't need it. I thought I might need my mount or my mallet. So I'm just gonna quickly, oh boy, I didn't put my gloves on. Okay, so we got the chain off to the side, and this is a 150 tire on here, so when I remove it, I'm going to have to come up and out. Okay, I'm moving this caliper off to the side, and voila. We got this sucker, but here's a kind of a close-up. I know I'm using my reverse camera, and it kind of tore a little bit of a hole here. I did limp it home, but I've got a plug patch kit that I'm using, so we'll get this nasty thing plugged up pretty good so we can keep stuff out of it. I'm going to go over to the tire changer stand real quick. I'm going to get this set up on it, and I'm going to bring you over there in just a second. Those of you who are familiar with my channel here know that I probably have a constant hum when I'm in the garage from these crappy fluorescent lights. I decided, since I'm particularly annoyed, that I'm going to just shut them off and use my little extra light over here. So let me see here. Get my light over in position so we can have a little extra light over here. I have it setting on my friend's WR450 I've been working on. I had my fork tube rebuild station in effect. So that's what I did on his bike. The fork tubes were terrible. So I got some fork oil here, and I got just my kit that I keep in this little cubby over here. Let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this job in the frame here. It's been a long day. So we're just trying to get this job done. Tires are becoming less and less of an ordeal for me because I've done so many of them. Let's see here. Yeah, that should do it. So I still have to break the bead on this because the tire is still on the bead, so we're going to do that first. Got so much stuff in the way here. This is kind of an impromptu job here. I've got to be careful because that thing's sharp. So I don't have all my tools ready to go, like my 14 millimeter. Let me see here. I just got to be careful not to gouge myself on this piece of metal. It's not holding any air at all, so. As usual, there's chaos in my garage. And I'm sorry I'm in your way here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and break this off the bead. You heard that. I'm just pushing it on around. I'm gonna try to clean up this mess that this made. I did have to ride a small distance on the dirt road, just about a half a mile. Just about a half a mile and about a mile on the interstate, on the highway, which I didn't want to have to do. I just opted to just limp it on in. About 30 miles an hour, which I wouldn't recommend anybody to do ever. Again, I'm just pushing this off the bead, which we've got it done now. Such a pain. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my spacers and put them over here in the appropriate place. I just want to get this job done and out of my life. But I want to share the job with you. All right, I'm grabbing my 14 millimeter real quick. Do I have that equipped here? Tell me that's a 14. How lucky is that? Excellent. Okay. So I'm using my Nomar tire changer. Geez, I got a mess in here. My mom's been out of town, and I was over at her house taking care of some maintenance, some mowing to be exact. She'll be coming back Friday or Saturday, and I wanted her to be able to come back to a freshly mowed lawn. It's kind of warm in here, so if I sweat and look like a slob, you'll understand why. Hey, if you're watching, please leave us a comment here in the live chat, and please make sure that it's appropriate. I'd like to hear from you. So again, to recap, I picked up a piece of metal, and I'm going to pull that out here in a minute. This evening I was on my DRZ, and I was actually just rolled over the 6,000 miles on my stroker big bore build. The Nomar here just kind of clamps up on the hoops. My buddy Nathaniel finally picked up the replacement for what his came with. His Nomar has the arm that comes over the top, and the arm just sets down in the wheel here. I dealt with it. I changed a set of tires for him when I came up and visited him. Keep in mind, he lives about 8 hours away. But so I drove all day and changed his tires that night. What a nice friend I am. Okay. But I did not like the setup that was different from mine. Okay, so I'm just, you've probably seen this before. See it again. Nomar tool works great. Okay. Yeah. So since this is a tube tire, what I'm going to have to do is, oh, so we've got somebody talking to us here. Okay. Front tires leaking air, just been lazy to look at it. Yeah, I understand. If that tire issue can persist, you never know until that small issue becomes a big issue. This one became a big issue right all at once. And let's talk about, I'm gonna have to grab my 12 millimeter here real quick, because I've got to remove the tube nut. Tube nut? Kind of nut? Tube nut? Okay. Dewey, you were in the sun too much today. But yeah, a small problem can become a big problem real fast. And, a leak means something's wrong. And I just encourage you to fix that. And if it's a tube tire, the problem probably lies in your tube. And there may be a problem lurking in the depths that's causing that tube to leak. Or it could be a Schrader valve. We just don't know. There's a tube hanging up here on the wall. It's a brand new tube. It was for the YZ 250 two-stroke Supermoto that I've got sitting over here. And it would not release any air. So it would accept air through the Schrader valve. I could remove the whole core of it, and it would not release any substantial air pressure out of it. That was kind of unfortunate. If I wanted to be a problem person, I probably could raise a fuss about it. All right, so clearly this tube is wrecked. I've had this tube, yep, there's the gouge in it, or was it? Oh, it's ripped wide open. So this either happened as a result of me, odds are this thing went flat quickly, and I probably picked it up in the driveway at my mom's. Who knows? The grader's been going up and down the dirt road, and people can be rather irresponsible. And there's been some people that have dumped stuff out going down the road. Unfortunately, one of those times we called the sheriff and made them pick up all their stuff that they dropped on the roadway. And they got a nice fat ticket for it too. Okay, so we're going to get the scope of this damage, and it's probably not good. Okay. Holy moly. Look at that. That's massive. That's what she said. So that sucks really bad. Have to get a hold of this with some pliers. This thing's absolutely massive. Hey, we got one person in here that's watching, and they commented. Please comment on this video here if you're in here on the chat. Look at the size of this. This came. What the hell? There's no reason why a piece of metal this big should be on the roadway, but it sure as hell shanked my tire and ruined my tube. That is insane. So it looks like a nail on this end. That's just crazy. Screw you, sir. Whoever did this should not be on the roadway. Okay, so we got a hole in our tire. Now that's a big deal, obviously, if you have a non-tube tire. But it can be a big deal if you got a tube tire as well. Okay, I got a little ahead of myself here. I'm not going to bring you with me. I'm going to keep talking to you because what we're going to do is we're going to plug this. We're going to plug this hole. We're going to plug it. I set it down somewhere. Oh, here it is. I'm also going to grab my tube out of my stash. That's a 3.25. Okay. Let's talk tubes real quick before we get too fired up here. I gotta grab one more thing, my rubber cement. We're getting there. Hang in there with me, people. Yeah. Hang in there. Okay. Let's talk tubes real quick. No, I'm not going to go tubeless. Because this is one of the prime reasons why I'm not. This tire probably would be ruined for a tubeless setup. Let's see what we got going on over here. Thumper talk. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I don't want material getting in this tube and tire setup. So I'm going to use one of these plug patches. See how this one's a little skinnier, this is a little thicker. This metal device is an applicator so that I can push through the void. But this piece of rubber is going to adhere to the void in the tire. And this patch is going to adhere to the surface of the inside of the tire. That'll be something to save my new tube that I'm going to apply here. So we're going to save that for just a second here because I've got to clean out the area because I've got a bunch of tube lube. I got to find my hole again. Story of my life. Oh, here it is. And it's quite a gap. And you can see here, there's, this is kind of a hole here, and that's another reason why we gotta take care of the void. So what I'm gonna do, So I'm going to clean this area out thoroughly, first and foremost, because I want this patch, and I'm going to use a little bit of this rubber cement to adhere it a little extra, because I don't want anything in there that's going to cause friction or cause damage to my new tube. So again, this is an impromptu video, and I didn't really have time to stage it and get everything ready. So we're just kind of off the cuff, if you will. We're doing this one off the cuff. Oh. And it is rather warm in here. And if you've heard my videos before, and I know I've already said this, usually I have a resonating sound of, all right, good night, my friend. Usually I have this resonating sound of deafening tube lights in the background, and I was so annoying. I was so annoyed. There we go. I'm just making an application of rubbing alcohol. I'm finding my void area, because what I want to do is I want to get any of that material. Who else is in the chat here? Or who else is watching the video? Please speak up. It doesn't matter who you are. So I'm just cleaning out where the hole is in the wheel or in the tire. And I've also experimented with this before the last time. I'm going to use this little kind of a rasp file in the area where I want my patch to adhere. Now this tire doesn't have a lot of texture on the inside. It's really smooth. This is a GPR 300. This is very much an affordable tire. Wait, you know what though? I got that out of my freaking tire. That's crazy. Alright. So make another application of rubbing alcohol. I want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing to my channel, and share this to some people, to some friends, and even while this stream's going on. Okay. There's a few different ways to approach this. I want to make sure that, this is quite a gaping hole here. Yeah, there we go. And it's kind of, what I'm using here is just kind of like from a plug kit. So I just want to create a uniform hole. Okay. And judging by this hole, and I'm just going to use this applicator as an example here. Yeah, that's a pretty smooth sail. I'm going to see if I can use this larger ones in here. Ooh. Is it your first time? Okay. So what I'm going to do here is, I shouldn't have said that. Oh well. So we're going to use the bigger plug patch. But I just want to ensure we got a stickable surface. for this one more time. And yes, that's real sweat coming from my brow. Yeah, it sucks having a hole in it. I might just get a replacement tire. So if you look at these plug patches, they've got this metal applicator here. It's this tip, and then they have this patch section that comes off. When you get the applicator through, you basically will pull it plumb off. But I'm going to step it up a notch here, and this is going to be kind of hard to show for the viewership, but just visualize what I'm doing with my left hand is I'm finding the hole, and I'm trying to not stick myself in the finger, and I'm finding the path of where this punctured. This is really stupid. All right. Let me get my reamer again and kind of chase it from the inside here, because I don't want to damage my tire any farther. Okay. So I'm just going and doing the same thing from the inside. Okay. So hopefully what we were able to do is create a little easier path. There we go. So I'm going to get this most of the way through here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel my patch. I better wash my hands a little bit. Maintaining this squat position is good training. So this is, this is one of those unfortunate things that can happen. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to expose the patch material from the inside. It's got kind of a peel away. Okay, I think I found it here. A peel away material. Yeah, here we go. And it would probably be enough to stick it to the surface of the inside of this tire. And I'm just peeling this off of here the hardest way I possibly can. Oh, for crying out loud. It's more entertaining if I struggle. Okay. So I got one portion of it off. I'm having such a fantastic time doing this. Just so as you all know, I'm going to remove this and just go about it straight on here. We're not going to have any commitment issues. I'm glad this is not giving me any fits at all. I should have just called my buddy Nate at Corey and Nate's garage sale and just have them send me another GPR 300. That'd be the easy way, and that'd be wasteful. Crying out loud, sticker. Come on. If it sticks anywhere as good as it does to this sticker material, to the inside of my tire, we'll be smooth sailing. There we go. All right. Well, since we've already determined that it's going to fit, hopefully, I'm going to put my extra stickum on here. And this is just from a slime patch kit that I have. Oh yeah. Okay. So always using a well-ventilated area. There's my hole. So now I have to deal with the stickum. This is quickly becoming a disaster. There we go. So I got my stickum on there, and I'm just stuffing her through. Oh yeah, that's making a nice fit, and I'm really happy about that. And so with these plug patch kits, I'm dumping buckets. I'm looking for my pliers I used. I'm standing on them. Once you get them through, you remove your applicator. So you see here, I've got this nice rubber plug where the tire was damaged. And I think I will, just because I think there's some damage in the belting of this tire. I think I will probably replace it, but this won't stop our fun for now. I'm going to take our sharp objects and get them in a safe place. And let's see here. Since I don't ever waste anything, I've got this heavy magnet from one of my old speaker boxes. And what I'm doing is just kind of massaging that patch with that extra weight. Okay. I think I'll put just a little extra. Oh no, there's no reason for it. It's already well bonded. I was going to peel it back. Well, that's nice. That's a nice repair. Cool. So, just so I can be a little extra thorough, I'm just going to set this magnet in that area. So it can just set in that area and help it to cure. So while that's I'm giving a little extra time to cure, I'm just going to go over here with my, and I apologize, I'm doing this very late after being out in the sun all day and in humidity. I'm going to take a moment here and inspect our wheel. Now, we had a puncture through our tire and wheel combination, and I'm looking and seeing if we had any damage to our rubber part on our inside of our wheel to see, well, where it protects the tube from the spokes. And I'm pre-cleaning the wheel because no one likes dirty wheels, just basically. I'm going to balance this setup as well when we're done. And this is just kind of a way to delay the installation of this because I've got to lube the tire and lube the tube. You gotta lube the tube. And I use the No More paste to lube the tube. So I'm just wiping it off, delaying the inevitable. And this might end up being a not so good fix. I think it will be a good fix. Okay. So we delayed our application of the new tire on there for a few minutes. And again, we're doing this not necessarily to prevent and make this thing airtight, which I think it would be airtight, but it doesn't have to be airtight. And I'm just taking my No More paste and lubing the tire, because really you lube your tire to fit it onto the wheel quite easier. But also, in a tube tire situation, you lube the tire to lubricate the tube. I've had this same tube, and I'd probably still be running it for quite some time longer. If I didn't have this hole. But I always stock these size tubes for these 4.25 inch wheels. And let's talk tubes real quick. This is a 4.25 inch wheel that I'm putting this on. And the tube that I would put in this is not going to be the same that I would put in for a 5 inch wheel. Because the number's all in, the number's all in. Forgive my fatigue. All right. It's all in the size of the wheel that you're putting it on. All right, so I've got the clockwise facing up. Well, our rear brake side is facing up as well, meaning the clockwise side should be sticking up. Okay, I don't have my dot anymore, so I'm just going to put it where I feel like it. That's an easy peasy fix there. All right. Very carefully, I'm going to place that there. I'm going to put our contact cement away. So we're looking at the numbers that are on this Parts Unlimited box. So this says 4.00 to 4.5. And it says 0.6, 4.60/5, 10 to 17. 110, 117. But at the end of the day, so it says, 130, 80. So there's some weird things, but the key thing is this is made for a 4 inch to 4.5 inch wheel, which is perfect. My front wheel ones are, I think it's for the 3 to 3.25. Very simple. It's incredibly simple, and people get freaked out when they need a tube and they don't know what tube to get. And sometimes they go to places where people don't know what the hell they're doing, and they give them either too big of a tube, too small of a tube, the wrong tube, this tube, that tube, U tube. I don't know what tube I need. You need a new tube indeed. What tube? This tube, that tube. Red tube, black tube, blue tube. All right, so here's, for some people, might be a point of contention as well. I had to flick a little bit of that contact cement that was mixed with. Okay, so here's that might be a little bit overinflated. But I like to inflate my tube slightly, because I don't pinch tubes. Let's just get that straight. I don't pinch tubes. So I get a reasonable amount of that paste, and I like to lube the tube with the paste, the Nomar paste. this side and that side. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention too much to be in frame. Probably should, since that's what I'm doing, is getting here on frame. We got somebody watching? Hey, let me check and see what all we're saying here. Yo, all this for me? Maybe. So I had it flat. Had it flat on my DRZ. Pulled out this massive piece of metal. Comment if you want to see it. And I did a plug patch. I did a plug patch on my tire just to keep any of the nasties out. Sorry if I missed you there. And I kind of limped it home about 1.5 miles, and it was absolutely flat. I'll show you in a second. And so I installed a plug patch just to kind of fill the void where the object stuck in my tire and tube and tore it up. And I think I'm going to probably get a replacement tire in case I have any problems with this. I don't think I'm going to have any problems. I'm going to check on you in a second. I've got to place this Schrader valve in here. Hang in there. I'll get to you, I promise. I don't pinch tubes though. Let's just get that one out in the clear, in the open. Okay. This is going to be a nasty job here. Let's see what we say. If you love it, you lube it. That's right. You know it. Okay, so this is what I pulled out of my tire. This piece here was sticking out of it, and the rest of it was in here wreaking havoc on the inside of my tire, and it ruined my tube here. Made a nice little flappy, douchey hole. So I didn't realize that I had a flat tire. So it must have happened in my mom's driveway, which is when I went to leave after I got done mowing there this evening. After I got done mowing this evening, I went to move my bike back, and it was very hard to push. I may have uttered a few expletives at that point, because I have never had a flat on this bike. Okay. So I got the Schrader valve sticking through. And I'm going to start the nut on it. Yeah, let's interact. Come on, comment on the live chat. Ask me any question. Please keep it respectful. I know you will. You're a refined gentleman. Gaines. Okay, so I'm just running this in. Check it out here. I can't see that far. My vision is not the best thing. I can definitely work on things better than I can see. But I'll check on it. Yeah, make a few comments. I'll read them. Ask some questions. Yeah, so I use that Nomar paste. So on my DRZ this evening, on my Stroker Big Bore, I just rolled over 6,000 miles on that engine, on that build. So my reward for that was a big fat piece of metal in my tire. Stick with me here. I'm just going to run this in real quick. I inflated this tube just a little bit more than I'd probably rather have done, but it's not going to cause me any trouble. Oh man, this valve stem is long-winded. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's check with you. Oh, all right, well, we appreciate you checking us out. And I'm gonna make this public. Whew. It's warm in the garage. I'm running out of steam. But we're going to finish this off. We're going to finish it. So I put this is my yellow thing, which is their bead keeper. So we're going to start, this is going to be, I say this is going to be pretty easy because this tire is well broken in. But I'm still going to follow the protocol I normally follow when doing this. Oh. My yellow thing came off. Perhaps I loved it too much and lubed it too much. Okay. There we go. You gotta keep that down off the top and off the bottom. And there we go. So I've got it. I've got the tire on the wheel. And I've got a plethora of excess of goop. Overflow lube, if you will. So I'm just going to wipe off the excess of that. If this tire is really screwed, I've got an extra, oh wow. Kind of dented that sucker in a little bit. I've got an extra, well, an old, well, it's not old, it's last year's. There's still a few miles, but not a lot of miles on it. A Q3 Plus that I was using, but it's getting pretty used up. So, I'm going to take this off the tire changer. Yeah, I know this is going long. This is a hassle. But what is more of a hassle is having to have somebody else do it and also pay them to do it. That gets in my craw. So what do you say? We set the bead. Come on, spool, let go. There we go. We're going to set the bead and we're going to call this good because I don't think we need to show you me balancing this tire and wheel and reinstalling it. See how much air is in my air compressor. Not quite enough. We're going to get loud. So we've got a little bit of air escaping through the hole. Oh, no, probably not. Sorry, I didn't see that. No, this is a Cycle Hill tire changer. Good grief, I'm sweating up a storm. This is a Cycle Hill tire changer made in Missouri, USA. And there is they have a few different models. They're Classic HD. There's several of them, but mine's a Nomar. I've had it for over 10 years and I really enjoy it. Okay, so I gotta get my pressure gauge. Where is that sucker hiding out at? Again, controlled chaos in here. Got chaos happening everywhere. I'm gonna hunt that sucker up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna balance this tire and then I'm gonna reinstall it. Plain and simple. I'm gonna get another tire in the meantime. Sorry about that. I'm gonna get another tire in the meantime on standby and we'll replace it if needed. So I wanna thank you all for watching, and as usual, let's see what I can do here. Can I flip this? No. Oh, I can flip this screen. So we're gonna do a little, sorry about the glare here. We're gonna do a garage tour here. There's the DRZ sitting there without its wheel. I got the YZ250 in the back, the DRZ 400, aka 462, wide ratio. So stroker big bore on that one, and this is my Yamaha, my YZ400F, aka Nina. And this is my friend's bike. It's a WR450, an 09 model. And there's the old mini doozy. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.